a surprise to me as well to see the Aragoli even show up in general. I know that she got, a little bit of a buff, then, retracted slightly, but she's actually like a pretty solid pick here in the goal zone, and we'll be seeing it right now. Everyone on Among Titans for the start. No one even opting to get hot shot at all. We all are looking for that 12% speed, and it'll probably make a lot of difference here when it comes to getting this one giant barrier. AverageAlex nicely there to defend for Maloom. Okay, Shionzu gets it on down to the Joker, but a nice barrage as well, but can't get the angle to get it on out of there. And this is the big thing about this map, though. Your barrier goes down, and then you got this thing coming at you, and there's just so much pressure, but Maloom does end up surviving it, though. The Joker actually going to bring the ball back there with the Death's Touch. We can't seem to land it right now. Nice pre-evade there from Barcode. I like the idea. Fiery finds themselves staggered here. Could get a kill if they want. We're not going to use the resources just yet, as we're going to keep defending this goal, although Fiery gets it in with the dashing strike. Finally gets that projectile in there, spends the Oni's blade. Here comes the cannon. AverageAlex can't get it on through, but snipes everyone. And Shionzu there to help, and this is just like some of the great synergy that we can see from PPL starting off already on this first game.
And everyone is so close to energy bursts. Both cannons down. Showtime is going to be really close to the second one if they can manage to stall it out long enough. 2 energy bursts available. Joker going for the shot at the top, isn't able to connect it. Shionzu looking for a pass down to Joker. The Maelstrom comes through, isn't able to connect with anything. Cannon's up in about 5 seconds, and it is going back and forth, just trying to see who's going to use. Oh, there's the cannon. Let's see if Joker can get it set up here. But a great shot gets it through from PPL below the cannon to prevent the cannon play from happening. And now we have 2 energy bursts available for the forward combo of Fiery and AverageAlex. One goes through, same with the Zentaro passive, but let's see if the other one follows up. A great use of the energy burst to dodge the Maelstrom, but it isn't able to connect it. This might be the longest Inky point I've ever seen. We are in overtime. Cannons have come through multiple times. This is round 2 over for PPL, but it ends up getting Shionzu pulled in, gets the KO, and then AverageAlex plus Fiery finishing it off for first point going over to PPL of this set.
That was a lot. That was a lot for the first point. We already see level 3s showing up here. And that was pretty crazy, keeping themselves alive. But Joker finds a really great pendulum swing to grab that first barrier. Pretty early here, though. Incoming cannon. All right, gets it on through, but AverageAlex having no problem hitting that one away into the hands of Joker, though, versus Maloom, but gets that Giga Blast to negate any of that pressure. Not trying to deal with the strict 1v1 there against Rasmus, understandably. Okay, almost gets a kill onto AverageAlex with that pendulum swing. Tries to get it through with the Whiplash. Can't get it, though. Also, the Maelstrom a little bit off, too. Showtime kind of crumbling there for just a moment. I felt like they had a lot of pressure, but now it's just Joker against Maloom. AverageAlex helping on the backside there. They do have the water cannon. Yeah, Barrage makes sure that we can't lose any of those situations. Going to be nullified one more time. Barcode now has Flip and is probably going to use it to save here. Okay, nice weight on the piercing shot. Nice angle from Joker. Kind of like a no mix-up there. Had access to a couple different angles, but that was a good one. That was a good one. Point over to Showtime.
Yeah, Barcode was a really good patience there on the flip to wait out the piercing shot. I feel like a lot of other goalies will just panic strike that and then end up getting scored on. AverageAlex had a phenomenal timing on that piercing shot too. But a barrier being dropped already. Joker's looking low, isn't able to get the health pack. Has to wait for either Shionzu to heal him or just kind of hang out in the middle. But there's a lot of damage coming through from PPL. This is an Among Us start, surprisingly, so there's no extra damage. It's just the composition of these 3 characters that are applying so much pressure, right? Estelle does so much damage to both the core, tends to do damage to the people and the core at the same time, right? Like we use our abilities to push the core forward while also dealing damage to other people, and then at the same time Fiery is just going through everyone, using primary on people, secondary on people, but they're surviving long enough. The cannon hasn't been able to push it through, but Barcode with a great save. Fiery is taking a little bit of a stroll as he has to use the energy burst. Shionzu can't get KO'd off the side, ends up going down. Maloom has the barrage, sets it up, and it ends up sliding through with the help of AverageAlex.
Nice one there from PPL. I saw that Joker is waiting, trying to snipe as hard as they could to get that core with that pendulum swing, but a couple of extra hits there is going to make it really difficult. PPL looking good right now. Got 2 points in this first set. I'd really be happy to grab the first awakening there, though, but it's going to be tough to get past Shionzu in this spot, although Fiery taking on that challenge for just a moment there. Maloom going to go grab that ball. Shionzu trying to get its Joker as fast as they can. AverageAlex was actually a pretty nice clear there, though. A little bit of a scare, possibly for Maloom, but they knew what they were doing there. Probably gonna have to use this flip. Actually doesn't. Okay, Shionzu ended up backing off. The pressure kind of relieved there from Maloom for just a moment. AverageAlex and Fire trying to get it through one more time. Flip from Barcode to just give it over to Shionzu. Okay, keeps that barrier. That was a little bit scary. Continues to keep that barrier. Barcode locked in right now. Oh my god, Shionzu winning a strike war situation to keep that barrier again. But Pendulum Swing's going to strike AverageAlex and Maloom at the same time. And that's going to be a big water cannon here for Showtime. Let's see what they do with it.
Oh, but AverageAlex seeing what Joker wanted to get done in that situation and walked up to strike it out. A great set of patience from both Shionzu and Barcode. Managed to clear through all the Estelle abilities there as Fire is looking low. Ends up burning an elusive. But still manages to stay alive as Shionzu trying to walk up forward to get the interception there from Joker's rebound, but unable to finish it off. Fiery is still alive, and there's a lot of possession just on PPL's side, but finally a KO on the corner that is live once the barrier goes down because of the fire cannon. Bloom unable to get it fast enough. The barrage goes back into the net instead of the corner there, unfortunately.
Incredible evade there from Joker, by the way, all in that corner. Had the Oni's blade on him, but got to save the ball in that corner, got the evade to survive that situation, and that was really nice. We're going to benefit as such, grabbing that point. Shionzu against AverageAlex here with not many cooldowns going on. Fiery takes hand of the ball. Everyone's a little bit slow to grab it here, though, but okay, Barcode giving it on over to Joker once again. Shionzu going to keep this top side completely clean. Although AverageAlex does get a nice peel there, though, to get the ball away. The barrage is going to beat the pendulum swing there once it's activated for sure. Shionzu blocking the bottom clear. Maloom wise to that situation, though, although they get the drone. Nice clear again over to AverageAlex. Maloom looking locked in right now, although the barrier does end up going down. And man, point instantly taken from that lingering pendulum swing. Red balling that one right to Joker, and it's going to be Showtime taking it. Joker, first awakening.
I'm not really sure what Fiery was going for that play, or what the intention there was. Maybe he was trying to just pass it over to AverageAlex, but AverageAlex wasn't aware that he was going to hit it into the pendulum there. But either way, that play ends up leading to Showtime getting this first set, which is, let's see if it ends up making a difference here. It is going to be AverageAlex who gets the team player on these open maps. It ends up adding so much value. Prime time over to now. We have Size going over to Rasmus, and Rasmus is one of those amazing scalers with Size, right? It skills his pendulum swing amazingly, the secondary on that on the swing, and then at the same time just the character's model going up. But other than that, nothing too amazing. We do see Maloom getting the barrage extended there and the Giga thanks to the missile prop, so might end up making some plays from further back, which is a nice thing. We're already seeing the Giga come through, unable to connect there, but the Showtime, I feel like, has the advantage here in terms of what they picked up. But oh my goodness, a synchronized beam plus secondary from the forward pair of PPL, unable to break the barrier. But honestly, it's been a really close game either way.
It has, definitely, for sure. That last set was not a blowout under any circumstance. Easily 0.5. Clutched it there from Showtime, but the game is going to continue here with the water cannon. Gets sent on into it, though. Barcode, no one there to pressure him. Not going to be too hard to block that one away. Although, Fiery sticking in the fray there, getting a strike onto Barcode. No cooldowns left is going to be just enough to sink that one. Good positioning there from Fiery to not bail when the situation looked a little dire. Completely triangulated by all three teammates, or enemies.
Yeah, Barcode just not having a strike up in that situation. Send it back down to Fiery, but it wasn't able to get through him. And Fiery was able to just send it right back, but almost close enough to get KO'd on the side. Fiery hanging really close to the edge there, but used that energy burst to break through, get the barrier. Cannon is available for them. Maloom trying to walk back and get it. They use the barrage to force it through, finally back on the other side as Maloom runs forward. Eject button's back. The pressure is on, but energy economy is in the favor of Showtime. Let's see if they can get it. Pendulum swing play plus the death touch leads to a barrier being dropped thanks to Joker. Showtime uses the cannon, tries to send it down, unable, unfortunate cannon usage there. Doesn't really accomplish much as Fiery just spamming abilities on Zintaro, unable to connect with Barcode, who has a phenomenal timing there on the energy burst. Ooh, I thought there was going to be a little bit of a demonic angle and Showtime were going to get got in that situation there, but no, the play moves on. The death touch pulls one through. Fiery being taken down, 3v2 play being set up. Can they finish this off, Envy?
Gonna be close here, though. Maloom does have situation, but man, Shionzu was just close enough to get that drone. No added size to that either, so Shionzu got up there when they needed it to. Among Titans, man. Plus, yeah, Magnetized Souls might have gotten in there as well. Just a lot of extra speed is really great. to get your midfield across the board, especially when the goalie has only one clear angle in that spot. That's going to be a nice point there. Although we do continue once again. Fiery getting on in there with that Oni blade, but foiled a little bit there from Shionzu's pressure. Back in the hands of Fiery. AverageAlex on the top side to defend. Barraging just in case Shionzu walks up, so that's understandable. Barcode keeping it onto the top side. Okay, actually counters the piercing shot with the bewitching beam. Fiery right on top of Barcode. Wins a strike war pressure situation there. All right, Maloon not trying to lose this barrier. Going to flip right into the face of Joker, who's going to be cleaned up with AverageAlex getting that piercing shot. Now, that was a team collab if I ever saw one.
Yeah, I mean, a great placement there from AverageAlex, catching where Barcode was going to strike it, not like predicting him to strike it up and not down to cover the Estelle cross. But a good start from Showtime, already gets the barrier as Joker pops off with the pendulum swing. But these cannons haven't been getting any value for Showtime, I feel like. Now the other one drops through. Maloom walks back. Their cannon's going to be up. But can Joker 1v1? No, he gets the win for the strike war. But the placement of the strike wasn't good enough there. Should have been a point going over to Showtime. But that one mistake ends up turning it around and set over to PPL.
Yeah, wow, that was kind of incredible there. Really good team play. Basically, that whole set from PPL is going to certainly secure them this one, allowing AverageAlex to grab the first awakening here. A couple of good choices here. Hot shot would be probably the best thing here. Explosive is also fine. Yeah, okay, goes for the explosive, which is totally fair. Monumentalist now, though, is something to keep in mind, but they were not going to spend resources on denying that one, which allows Joker to get a little bit more core speed, leaving Era with not all that much. I guess Adrenaline Rush might be all right to get some more of those bewitching beams on out there. And I would say for sure, not really for sure, but it kind of feels like Showtime got the better there. I mean, Hotshot Mon is really good in this situation. We'll see if AverageAlex can make this explosive entrance worth their while.
Yeah, and a great Maelstrom comes through to help secure that first barrier already. And let's see if Joker, with that pendulum swing paired with the hot shot, is going to be able to have a lot more pushing power onto the net, being able to hit stun the core and or hit stun the enemy plus the core at the same time. As a great KO, although Fiery trades it back with the barrier, is low, might get taken out completely, but it is a 1v2 situation here for Joker. Oh, most likely should have passed down to Shionzu there, but goes for the shot, isn't able to connect. Bloom with the great strikes is walking up forward to make sure the possession is kept. Fiery is keeping the pressure on over there, almost gets taken down in the corner as Shionzu with the Manu doing the damage over. Oh my goodness, the ultimate comes out. Fiery dodges, only has one energy bar left. Can he survive long enough? Gets the orb. It's gonna walk towards the second one. Is denied the second one, and there it is. The Manu plus the primary combo from Shionzu takes it out, and the strike placement gets it through. Joker making it up for the missed shot from the last set.
Dang, clutch one there for Joker to actually steal the ball right out of AverageAlex's hand, kind of like what you might do with a little kitten and a toy. Really good work there. Also grabbing a flip of their own and going to spend it right here. Everyone's on the front line. Triple goalie. Tough spot to get it on through, but still a good attempt nonetheless. As they're still going to keep pressure. Going to keep pressure on the opposing side here, though. Okay, the Oni blade comes out. Oh my god, Joker actually finds this crazy. Yeah, that was like such a nutty threading the needle there for the Joker, which is going to basically secure them that whole point. Shionzu getting credit for hitting it on that last shot there, though. Man, it feels like Showtime is maybe locked in right now. Joker feeling the hot shot. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's been popping off, even though the hot shot doesn't even feel like it's getting that much value in this set. Joker just really stepping it up, and everyone else, like we see the ad rush doesn't normally, like when you think about ad rush on characters, you're like, oh well, they're not getting kills, it doesn't really matter. Era has such low cooldowns that getting 1 second off of your abilities is actually a pretty big deal, right? Like it's like more than like 10% cooldown on just the primary, and then on top of that, Era has like one of the lowest cooldown ultimates in the entire game. So 1 second off all your abilities makes quite a bit of difference as the brawling comes through. Can they get the KO? Fiery having to use the flip just to keep the possession alive. Trying to get sent down into the bottom corner, but isn't able to do it. But Fiery actually finishes off Shionzu. Wasn't expecting that at all. Barco trying to walk up. Let's see if they can make a play here while Shionzu's gone. You usually have to play a little bit more aggressive in some of these situations if you want to keep possession of the ball in a man down situation, and they do it for long enough. Not able to get a KO. I feel like Rasmus last patch gets a KO somehow.
Certainly might. And as stuff there, Crystal Thorns from AverageAlex is going to defeat Barcode in that situation. On the overtime, made things just even a little bit harder to get into this next point here. 2 points for Showtime in this set, looking to grab an advantage in this game so far. Gets Noni's blade here with the slashing strike. Is not going to get it on through. A flip here from the Joker kind of far, but finds the perfect angle, the tip of that barrier. It is an incredibly large barrier, very difficult to defend. Finds that perfect angle. A lot of collaboration there from PPL, but man, Barcode and Shionzu are holding it down right here. Gets the up clear. Joker still there to help that situation against Maloom. Okay, he doesn't completely cover the wall there. Trying to stay safe. Shionzu is going to try to keep this ball here away from AverageAlex. Another clear nicely over to Joker, who has complete possession here, though, and the extra speed from that hot shot might have been just enough to get it on in there, and that's what I call value, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that was a hot shot diff. You are right there, Envy. Just not being able to catch it by the smallest second there from Maloom. And Joker, once again, in the first pick here, most likely going to take that fight or flight. I'm not sure if he's going to offer either Heavy Impact or Super Surge instead, but go for the guaranteed movement speed on something like fight or flight here. Super Surge being denied over. I'm actually surprised to take the Super Surge there, because most likely it wasn't going to go to... I mean, maybe the Era takes it, or the Now takes it, but I guess there wasn't really much else to take there. I probably would have just taken the Deadeye there for Maloom and try to aim for the missile prop Deadeye KOs if possible. But overall, doesn't look like either team got anything amazing. I think Joker's walking out with the best here with that fight or flight. And I will say Barcode getting the heavy impact does add that CDR onto the primary, which means even more cooldowns coming through for that bewitching beam.
Yeah, nice combination there. Certainly going to get more primaries, although seems to have walked into the water cannon, which is lethal. Lethal. You cannot be walking into the water cannon. Maybe I actually wasn't watching them. Maybe they have evaded and it just ran out. But either way, going to get sent into orbit right there through the water cannon. It's not really the way you want to start this set. Into the hands of Joker, trying to get it on through to Maloom. Sets up the Maelstrom, but gets kind of foiled there from the Oni's blade. Also denied from the slashing strike. Doing a whole lot of damage to Fiery now, though. We do see a Giga Blast sending Joker on off the map. Really helpful to have that missile prop, too. All right, another secondary here from Barcode is going to keep everyone kind of in the game right now. Fiery approaching here with this flip. Might end up using it when completely surrounded. Does end up using it. Trying not to get KO'd or anything. Joker almost makes it through with that pendulum swing. Really close situation. A lot of energy also showing up for Showtime. They can probably position themselves nicely here, although flipped all the way here. Maybe just trying to deal damage to Fiery, and man, they are knocking this dude around.
Yeah, and a great shot placement there from Shionzu. Was baiting out the pass down to Joker, but oh my goodness, the pendulum swing. Sorry, that's such. Oh my god, okay, he just that scared me for a second. What is happening this game? Why is Shionzu dead from the...
What?
I mean, that was a series of plays. What did I just witness?
Did he get hit into it? Maybe he was like standing too close. I can't. I don't have 6 eyes. I'm sorry, I don't have 6 eyes. That was crazy.
Every 2 seconds, there was something else happening that took my attention off from what I was about to say there. Getting back into the play of things. But this is PPL with the lead right now. Joker trying to go for the pendulum swing to get the KO onto AverageAlex. Isn't able to find it, but the Death Touch pulls it through. Beautiful shot placement there. Our ability usage gets it from the clutches of Maloom. And now being sent down into the cannon, isn't able to get it completely out. But damage onto Fiery might end up adding up and making a difference here. Denied the health orb. Damage comes through between the Monu and the pendulum swing, paired with the... Oh my god, that... You know what? That is a bulk up, heavy impact, add rush, Barcode.
Oh, yes. Barcode kind of soloing the last few seconds of that point, getting a kill, getting Adrenaline Rush, getting cooldowns, and the Maelstrom sometimes is nearly unstoppable when it is just stapled to the ball like that. Really good plays there from Barcode. 2 points for PPL, 1 for Showtime in this current set. Joker getting that Whiplash to try to get a little bit of speed, but cannot even get close to catching up to Maloon, who does actually end up sending it. Using the defense there from AverageAlex, Barcode can't get another strike onto the ball. The Oni's blade is going to be good enough to keep this one. Evades coming out here from Fiery. A lot of damage being put onto them. A flip here from Shionzu down onto the bottom side, onto Joker, who does actually find another really good angle to get it on through. Fiery stunned. Everyone's stunned. Pendulum swing comes out. And that was kind of a hectic point there right at the end. Joker is exactly where he needed to be for that one. And they're looking at match point.
Yeah, and that was actually a really good primary from Shionzu. Only reason why the core got into a spot where the pendulum swing hit everyone there and the core at the same time. So a phenomenal play from everyone on Showtime squad there. barrier does fall. Harder for Era to keep things up against a Zentaro, but you have the benefit of the Bewitching Beam and the Maelstrom to apply extra pressure on the offensive side, and then the speed boost on that secondary ends up doing so much. Oh, but a great clear down on the bottom. AverageAlex is unable to connect with the Piercing Thorns, or sorry, the Crystal Thorns there, as Joker trying to find something, unable to find it just yet. Shionzu comes through, applies some healing, goes through with the Manu, goes to set up the shot, flip forced out of AverageAlex, but the play is still up as the primary is set for Shionzu. I mean, everything is just trying to get into a spot where Joker can utilize that pendulum swing, but no, another set going over to PPL.
Very average Rose Warp there from Alex, completely stuffing and getting that last point in this set. Nice work there. Actually working on another awakening here for AverageAlex, getting the experience that they need for this game. What's it going to be? Could it be aerials? Are they looking for as much movement as physically possible? I have no idea. What's it going to be? I mean, aerials extra special, both really good here, though. Size does falling. Size does end up falling. You know, talking is actually quite difficult. Sentences just do not happen when you're commentating, when you're casting at the speed of light. But yeah, Size on over to Joker. It's just make him even more of a threat than before. Wider whiplash and everything. We do see a spark end up showing up for Fiery. I mean, I thought they were going to get completely denied at the point where we saw Spark of Leadership go onto Shionzu, who did actually also grab a spark of their own. Really interesting draft here, though. That was pretty good for both teams, I'd say.
Yeah, everyone kind of getting something that they want here. Barco being able to utilize the extra special Maelstrom, and then paired with that Ad Rush is going to have Maelstroms like every 10 seconds or so. It's going to be really powerful for both defense and offense there, and then paired with an additional Size Awakening for Joker. That's double-sized Rasmus. You end up being able to pendulum swing from so far away and just apply that pressure paired with a hot shot. Like, he's going to be most likely breaking these barriers a lot more efficiently. But first, we got to get the ball towards the enemy side. Not able to get in Maloon with a phenomenal save there. And the pressure of PPL has finally pushed through. And there it is, the secondary. The rush comes from Zentaro. Even though Fiery had almost no HP, it did not matter. And it was the rush that stunned them, but Maloon was the one who scored the shot.
Yeah, still good. Still good eject button Kai with a Dash Awakening or two. Gets so far in there. Shionzu, big flip, gets possession of the ball and slays Fiery in the combination there. Joker with the pendulum swing is going to take that final barrier. Shionzu on the bottom side versus Maloon here, but the barrage is going to get it on through. Okay, almost gets a kill onto Shionzu. AverageAlex might have been able to make it work with that flip. All right, a little bit of a not in here with this game on this point, although we do find a kill onto Maloon, which is kind of a little crazy. That Maloon is on out and going to keep the ball as close to the Maelstrom as possible with that mix-up. That was actually really nice there from the Joker. Make sure that it was going to be as hard as possible to block that one. And Maloon, not too happy about that one getting killed. Was it the pendulum swing that killed him?
Yeah, certainly, it was
right?
a little bit of a 1v1 over there with the Joker on the top side, and then Maloon got taken out from the pendulum swing. The extra damage coming through from the build difference does add up. But a good patience on AverageAlex there. Just chose to hold his flip from the previous set. Unfortunately, did not lead to much. Fiery is going to most likely get taken out again. It's just looking really low. Has to play in the middle of the map. Joker unable to connect there on the pendulum swing. Strike Wars coming through. They maintain possession for a little bit. The rush from Zentaro. Zentaro having no secondary extension is showing its it's showing how much he can utilize that awakening. And especially when not having it here, but the barrier ends up falling. Maloon running up. Kai secondary doesn't eject back, is just playing as far forward as possible. Fiery coming through, cannon pop, and AverageAlex make the play here to get the ball forward. I mean, it is going back and forth, and oh my goodness, I thought I was going to break the barrier there, Envy, but the play is still on.
It was close. That was pixels away. A flip coming out from the Joker, close as possible. We might want to see a red team member actually flip that one. Big cannon coming out. Maloon kind of has full possession there, though, can hold the ball through that cannon. AverageAlex spending the ult to try to get it on through the Joker one more time. Fiery gets their hands on the ball for just a second, but completely staggered and basically out of the play. A flip coming from Maloon, too much pressure. A pass coming out from Joker, possibly hitting every button on their keyboard at the same time, trying to get this ball through it. It works. Every button. You see that, folks? Every button combination on your keyboard does get the ball right on in there. Showtime, 1 point away from taking this first game.
Yeah, I think AverageAlex misjudged how fast the dribble is going to go. He tried to dribble it to himself and then force it through with a piercing shot, but ended up just having it slide right past him, and then Joker was able to utilize that timing to his advantage and score there. This is potentially game point If Joker and Shionzu plus Barcode can finish this off, barrier already falling through. Manyu comes through, a flip following up. The cannon is going to come right after. Here comes the Maelstrom pushing things forward. That's one KO. No energy available on AverageAlex. Malum trying to do his best. Uses the Giga Blast, unable to connect there. And now it's going to be a really tough situation as they got to defend 3v2 on this power play. Pendulum swing, hot shot. Manyu to finish it all off.
I mean, that was a really over-surmounting amount of pressure there from Showtime, placing that one on Malum. Sometimes you literally just run out of moves. The power plays are difficult, and really good teamwork coming out from Showtime to find those kills as consistently as they were. I mean, Fiery, main kill target for them. Zentaro, low health pool in general, so, like, well played there from Showtime. I mean, that was, as I predicted, yeah, big surprise, this is going to be a relatively action-packed whole series between Showtime and PPL. Even the maps, right? Like, Inky's is just nothing but stuff. Like, things are happening to be so aware of what's going on. And even in the next map, it's going to be Tao Temple. It's just really close quarters. I mean, the drums are everywhere. I mean, people are just standing on the edge the whole time. You got to work with your evades as much as you can. So it's going to be another banger coming up in just a few seconds.
Yeah, as the characters get prepped for the character select of Game 2, we'll find out what the awakenings are going to be, but Tao Temple is a really fun map. I'm actually, I wasn't following along to see who picked what, but Tao Temple tends to favor the creation characters a little bit more. Stuff like the Juno, the Amy, you see a little bit more value, even the Rune come out quite a bit. So I'm not sure. I know AverageAlex is a Rune enjoyer. We might see either that or the Amy come out for them, but I don't see why Showtime would really change anything about their composition. I'm surprised at the era, right? We're seeing the first time era here for Barcode taking a character that isn't a melee goalie, and now utilizing it. Already has a win on it with the first game that it's been showcased on. So might end up picking that again, and now we have that threat, right? Usually you tend to ban away Barcode's Atlas or whatever you're feeling on the day, but now we have one more character added to the roster that he can utilize if they choose to, but most likely won't see it on Tao Temple. Just to be, it tends to be a map that still favors melee goalies even now, with them being weaker on the patch.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with basically all that. I mean, adding Era to your list of goalies is actually pretty nice, and it's interesting, right? Because before her change, I mean, who was really playing Era at all? It's almost as if like maybe your skill with Era, your precision has just kind of like fallen out of favor. But boom, she's back, and so is everybody else. She shows up, and everyone's like, "Yo, my Era is lit." And Barcode not picking a melee goalie and just smacking that Era down on Inky's. I mean, it worked out so well. Like all these well placed Maelstroms got so many goals, so many barriers, kills
Yep.
indeed. You see 2 kills there and a little bit of damage there, 20k damage too. It's like, so I mean, Barcode is pretty much clocked in for work there as we are finally getting on into this next map onto Taiko. We see the spark of focus showing up with Super Surge. Could possibly be an explosive game here with Super Surge. Lots of damage. I mean, 30%. 30% is kind of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a little bit of that. What was the first game that we casted with the Zentaro instead taking the Deadeye, but already had a Dash Awakening?
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of like Super Surge at that point, you know? But
It is. That is Super Surge.
already seeing what is going to go, or what is being banned here. PPL taking away the Asher from this map could have been utilized by both Joker or Barcode. Showtime not allowing the Finny through. Finny has been a popular pick. We saw how well Bun Bun utilized it both games that they won on earlier today. I think it's one of the strongest characters on the patch right now, and then Mako being taken up. So no error this time around. Like I said, I feel pretty strong that the melee goalies are just, even post nerf, are the best goalies to take on this map. These corner pressures that you tend to have with a lot of stuffing power or creations are just almost impossible for any other type of goalie to clear it out with as much effectiveness. And because the map is so small, the melee goalies can still participate a little bit more on the offense, right? You don't have to walk across a giant map like Oni or Aten to be able to affect the play. So instead, we're seeing melee goalies on both sides. It's going to be a Showtime taking. I actually had it incorrect. It was Mako going over to PPL, and then Showtime is going to be taking the Atlas paired with Julie on the Joker. And that last pick on the midfield can really be anyone. I think the midfield pool is so varied at this moment. You'll probably either see now Amy, Rune, Juno, of those 4. Yeah.
So Dubu forward thoughts. I feel like it's gonna be a Dubu forward here. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't think that we're
Oh,
picking
Dubu
Mako
forward?
forward.
Well, I don't know how aware you are, but Fiery is a Mako forward enjoyer. Connoisseur,
Oh
if I
my
had to
god.
say. This
Oh my
guy
god.
has more Mako forward games than I think the collective like top 1,000 people do
All
for
right, all
that
right, all
for that
right.
role. So let's see if he ends up locking it through. It ends up doing a lot of damage, so might end up going the super surge to then get that drum and bass to do even more. 30% more damage is a lot. Like you said it
Bro,
earlier before.
think about Dubu secondary with Super Surge on this map. You would die every time, man. I
Pauldron
don't
super
know.
surge, Dubu explodes anyone.
Oh my god, that's a million player gaming knockback and 6 core knockback because it doesn't really move the core, kind of stuns it. But either way, we are going to get into this game in just a moment here, though. Now also being picked, kind of a fan favorite now these days, right? Like now feels like such a powerful midfielder on like every map. Even after like I feel like she keeps getting nerfs like here and there, not like huge nerfs, but still they are chipping away at this marble.
Oh man, Maloom locked in the Mako. I'm upset.
I
But
freaking knew it. Wait,
yeah, but we
hold on
still
a
got it
second. I was still
wrong.
wrong. Shoot, guys. I was wrong still somehow. Roll swap. Kind of. I mean, on this map, you can kind of play midfield and brawl at the same time. Everything's just so close together, especially with the drums. Like, you have extra range just for no reason because the drums are giving you super team player, super overtime at any point. And we see one team is a super surge enjoyer, and the other team is simply a spark of focus enjoying team. So now we will see which Awakening truly is stronger in general, and this is exactly the match that we're looking to do it. And like we just mentioned a second ago, this Dubu Super Surge could be extremely powerful.
Yeah, but one of the downsides of taking these starting awakenings is, oh my
Oh
goodness,
my
we're already
god.
seeing the super surge value come through, and both barriers drop. The Great Set of Strikes follows up. But one of the issues with this lineup is if your first pick on a winning set as, oh, great first point for PPL. But if your first pick on a winning set for PPL here, and a spark shows up, you have to deny it. Like you just can't not deny it, unfortunately, and then lead someone to already get 2 sparks after an early round. So that's one of the things that is really unfortunate. And then, of course, if the Showtime wins, they just get a spark, right? They just get a second spark for free on any character that they want. So one of the big downsides of doing the draft this way, I was really hoping that someone on their team ended up taking the spark, but oh my goodness, a great blink from Fiery gets both barriers, the Rose Warp into the piercing shot combo. That's 2 points before I can finish my my spiel.
They love doing that. They love scoring and doing crazy things during spiels. And that's just the kind of stuff you'll expect from NASL, because it's nothing but octane here. As you try to get a dash punch on through, Joker can't seem to manage it, though. AverageAlex trying to keep that one other barrier alive here by stunning the ball a little bit, but Joker putting a lot here. Dubu, yep, get booed. Okay, everyone gets owned. Joker puts that ball right on in there. Maloom might have fallen over in their chair. No problem, though. Still got points left in this next set. PPL 2-1 right now.
Yeah, and they still have the energy on Maloom to defend the next one. Fire is close to theirs as well as so Shionzu trying to get something set up onto the top, but AverageAlex there to defend it down. Dubu isn't the goalie, but can act like the goalie in this situation if needed. Has so many defensive tools, and also just the character with a massive hitbox, right? It's so hard to kind of strike around them. The way the midfield role has adapted, we just try to not take interactions that aren't winning if possible, but trying to get it around the Dubu feels like a mission in itself. As Shionzu taken pretty low, but heals back up thanks to the ultimate there. And the pressure coming back, Shionzu and Joker bringing it all the way around, but it isn't enough as Dubu pops down the ultimate, the Tofu Fortress. It just feels like a kind of like a stalemate in the middle for now.
Yeah, I think AverageAlex might have been a couple of seconds off there of just absolutely annihilating Shionzu with some of those Dubu abilities, but they do find themselves safe. Another thing I forgot to bring up here, Mako did find herself a significant nerf. I feel like the secondary did get reduced by like a pretty meaningful time, but we do see the pick here. We'll, I guess, still see Mako as a completely substantial goalie. Gets kind of owned there from Joker. Dubu, probably the easiest character to kill in the game, just being a giant tofu man. Just a big blob for the most part. Joker nicely getting that barrier there, but can't find themselves a double just yet. Fiery from across the continent sends out the Crystal Thorns tipper. And man, it's going to just kind of stuff Barcode in there and give them that nice first set here, and rewards themselves with an awakening of their own. A couple good, situations here. You can get prime time for Estelle. That's really, I mean, there's been, every time I've guessed an awakening, I feel like I've been wrong. So I should stop. Yes,
This is going to be a forward, like this is Fiery playing kind of like Brawler Estelle, right? So ends in opting in for the 1-2 punch instead. But I think if you are in the midfield position, prime time is a phenomenal choice there on the Estelle. It's just, difference of roles and how you want to utilize your abilities for like what types of pressures and such. But instead, it's going to be Prize Fighter. No Sparks, Prize Fighter going over to Juliet Joker. No Sparks available here. So no denying of the Sparks for PPL. Oh my goodness, and there's a Super Surge Slam coming through already as one drops. Tofu Fortress falls in as Barcode's secondary unable to hold it down long enough. As the second barrier comes through, Fiery is in plain sight, lines it up. The shot is there. Piercing shot into Barcode's heart, gets the goal, and that is first point going over to PPL.
Yeah, we might have to be starting to look for some more interesting evades here from Barcode, as they are getting kind of sniped pretty bad here from Fiery in a lot of these situations. Although Joker trying to make a play here with Shionzu does end up looting them at least one of these barriers. Here comes the Expanse to keep the ball forward. Yeah, blood in their eyes. AverageAlex does not take any prisoners as they send out the somersault one more time. Shionzu going to win a situation there against Dubu, who has absolutely no cooldowns. Barcode keeping the ball nice and forward. Shionzu ends up winning another situation here against AverageAlex, and it's just a matter of time before the Joker finds a couple of cooldowns. Here comes, yeah, I mean, spends a huge resource from Maloom. Flip, pretty much best move you have in the game. Barcode trying to get it on down to Joker one more time. Fiery wins the situation there, though. Is going to maybe result in a barrier here, especially with the soup coming in hot. Flip there from Barcode. Going to put it onto the bottom side, keeping both those barriers looking pearly white, nice and clean.
Oh,
Fiery's going to try to clean themselves up here with one of these orbs. Okay, now doesn't look for a kill, spending a couple cooldowns. Fiery running for their life and gets out. And still, 2 barriers remains here for Barcode.
Oh, it was stagger bug there. I wasn't even, I didn't even realize that AverageAlex tries to go for the slam, sends Shionzu down half a mile, but just not far enough to get the KO there as Dubu doing Dubu things. The log comes through, gets 1 gold, or 1 barrier as Shionzu almost gets taken out. Heals up thanks to the mine plus the Atlas ultimate there. But everything's still going pretty back and forth. But the KO, you mentioned it before, Dubu is so easy to get KO just due to his size. He is a massive hitbox to just take advantage of there, as Joker trying to go for the hits onto Fiery to see if they can get the core onto the barrier, unable to connect. But AverageAlex does return as we start trading away creations, and it is PPL who comes out on top with the barrier being dropped. Can they get their second point of this set? But Joker is doing everything in his power to stop this from happening. Log comes through, slam comes to follow up, but a great flip from Barcode most likely would have ended up with PPL's goal had he not flipped in that situation. And let's see who, which forward combo can get the goal when both barriers are down.
That's going to be a tight situation here, though. I might give the advantage over to Showtime just because Dubu isn't super good at getting the ball on through, unless he's like standing on the goalie and soups you right in the face. Nice evade there is going to keep Shionzu alive as well, though the ball perfect. What's the word? Forget it. Either way, Mako can't get there. Maloom could have possibly flipped to save that one, but thought they were just a little bit close enough just to grab the ball, which is actually understandable. Either way, it was tight. It was a tight situation. 1-1 in this current set. I mean, there's been so much happening here. I'm not really sure who to keep your eyes on, man. They're all going a little crazy.
Yeah, and like the speed. I mean, the game is going so fast paced, right? We're getting Dubu random KOs. It doesn't even matter that it's Atlas Mako, or sorry, Atlas now. It just feels like Dubu can randomly explode someone, and you can't really react to that as Atlas if you wanted to. So that can just continue to keep going through and getting KOs for PPL if they want to. Oh, save the double barrier there. I really wasn't expecting that. I thought Joker was going to get both for sure here. Tries to set up a play, forces the flip out. I think AverageAlex would have been decimated had he not flipped in that situation here. And then everyone's just being bounced around. Fire tries to go for a setup there, unable to connect. The timeless Expanse goes through and holds it down for such a long time, and now Fiery being taken low is going to try to get that health orb, is able to connect, unable to secure anything for Showtime in that situation. This top barrier is holding down for so long. Can Joker finish it off? No, they still manage to keep it. Oh, I mean, PPL is doing a phenomenal job of holding everything down, MV.
Gonna try to ride this red ball to victory, though. Shionzu wins the situation there, though. Man, Fiery playing defense there, not making sure that the Joker does not get their hands on the ball. AverageAlex clearing the board. Everyone gets knocked away from that, and a perfect angle from that drum is going to make things just awkward enough that Barcode is going to slightly miss on that strike shot. Nice one there for PPL to take that one. This might have been their map pick. They're looking kind of good.
Yeah, I mean, they're unionizing so well, right? The Dubu in the midfield is putting on pressure, is helping the defense way more. Imagine one melee goalie holding it down instead of 2 melee goalies. What a big difference, right? Everyone just has to use so much to force it through them. And now the creation comes through, the soup lines it up. It doesn't matter. Shionzu is getting taken out, but no, it has the heal there from the ultimate to survive a little bit longer, as Fiery is now looking to be on death's door, as Shionju's trying their best to secure this KO, unable to get it. That's the difference of the prime time reducing by 4.5% unironically to keep Fiery alive. Tries to go for the shot, flip, forced through, as Crystal Thorns most likely would have scored. Everything is going crazy on the defense. Mako ult comes through, unable to secure it just a little bit longer. Shionzu most likely has to use a flip, but oh my goodness. The slow-moving core makes its way into the net of Showtime as AverageAlex pops off once again. And that is a 2-set lead for PPL.
That did so much damage to Shionzu. Actually staggered them with like 40% health left. Like, that was a little crazy. Nice work there. AverageAlex really making this forward Dubu work. Gets their first choice here, which is going to be stacks on stacks. Maybe not finding themselves dead as often as they think, so they're going to try to keep these stacks ongoing. Fight or flight taken from Maloom, maybe can get good use out of it, but usually a deny there from the goalie is going to allow Shionzu to grab Monumentalist again, second game in a row. Gonna be tough here to deal with that Monumentalist now. Everything else seems pretty standard here. Heavy impact from Joker getting a little bit extra cooldown, possibly find themselves even more kills. I mean, 15% is kind of a lot. It'll be just as tight. I mean, Barcode, I'm not sure if he's actually saved anyone yet, unless it just happened right there.
Yep, that was a save from the ultimate there.
But it's just a lot of pressure to try to keep saving people.
Oh my goodness, almost had a little bit of a team player combo to get rid of Joker in that exact moment. But taking a look at the draft here, I mean, we got speed coming on to Dubu, this massive blob walking towards you with enhanced speed, like an extra 10% speed when fully stacked up. It's actually more than that, I'm pretty sure. But it is so much, but he has to stay alive, and we talked about how Dubu can fall so quickly. Fiery has that KO potential with the Ad Rush 1-2 punch and Super Search combo, so is also looking for some of these snipes at any moment. But doing a great job of holding things down for now. Barcode uses the flip, forces it out. AverageAlex coming through. The Mako holding down the secondary with 2 secondary awakenings there. Both barriers drop immediately. Barcode has no elusive. Oh my goodness, a friggin' bounce house. Double KO coming through, individual 1v1s, and then the flip into the shot. I mean, this is an insane game.
Yeah, I mean, they actually just went turbo mode right at the last 4 seconds there. And AverageAlex not risking losing this point, blasts that flip. Barcode not save that one with the expanse. That's a timeless, make it a little bit bigger, but not enough to get it on through. Fiery, nice positioning there with AverageAlex. He's going to win a lot of strike wars with that situation. And oh god, man, damage Shionzu taken just from the somersault is a little crazy. I mean, look, AverageAlex is just sitting there plotting, just sending the log towards the drum to just try to get people knocked closer to the edge. And man, there you go. That's the Quangle right there. You get the Rose Warp into the piercing shot, just strong enough to get these kills. I mean, Super Surge 1-2 punch, actually really strong Estelle right now.
Yeah, and then has the Ad Rush benefit to then just do it all over again. Oh, gets it around Barcode, but unable to connect to the barrier here. Shionzu has the energy burst, and Joker able to find it through using that elusive to bait to dodge AverageAlex's somersault. And not take the lethal blow from it. So great placing on him. But we have Shionzu who has full energy and Joker who has none, which means that they are both prime targets here to be focused for a KO.
Yeah, and Joker got killed a little too many times here. 0 stacks of price raider, completely null for an awakening right now. They're going to try to fight their way on through. Elusive comes out from AverageAlex, who has no more evades left. They might be able to think about knocking AverageAlex around this time as they are doing just a ton of damage here and there. Nice win there from Shionzu, who's going to relieve a whole lot of pressure onto Barcode. Gets that Monumentalist situation. Joker gets that barrier and gets healed up nicely. It's really cool to have now on your team when you are dying. Flip from Shionzu, winning that mid-field situation, but ends up losing a barrier either way. As the line is truly just being held.
Oh my goodness.
Actually sent into another dimension, getting blasted against the center drum. Maloom can't get there in time, ends up losing their last barrier, which is just the worst. You lose objectives in a power play of your own, but I mean, that's just part of the game, dude. You're gonna have to try to fight your way out of here. AverageAlex, huge butt just standing on that drone. Actually insane. This dude is rolling to victory. I mean, seriously, this guy's crazy right now.
I mean, this is a Dubu sweep if I've ever seen one. This guy is popping off like crazy, but even through all of that, the double power plays of this set, they haven't, or of this point, unable to get this. Oh, AverageAlex, calm down, Siegfried Nation for my fellow friends over there. But saved by the bounce house, Shionzu actually getting bailed out there from the drum. Otherwise would have been taken down by Fiery, and that could have led into a very dangerous situation for Showtime. But that is the third power play they had. But even now, they're using all their abilities to get these KOs, but unfortunately aren't able to find success in the... oh my god, saved once again just by nick of it. But they're like just not able to secure this last barrier. I'm not sure what's changed. Maybe it's just because the core is moving too fast in overtime, and they aren't able to get possession of it. But the defense from Barcode is reminiscent of the last season. Barcode just holding it down so well until the teammates with the Joker and Shionzu coming through and finally being able to put it in for their potential first set of this game.
I think it is definitely a combination of a bunch of the things that you said. I think, there's a lot of situations where you use all your cooldowns, get all these kills, get all these power plays, but you just have nothing to get through. A goalie like Atlas can really just hold it down for 14 seconds without all that much trouble. And in addition to the core, being in overtime, it makes it so that the goalie, even with the power play, it doesn't feel safe enough to move up. So Maloom kind of gets stuck to their goal there in overtime. Either way, Fiery, once again, humongous damage coming in, strikes the drum, does end up getting that barrier. AverageAlex trying to move up here with that flip. Joker gonna just try to waste a couple of moments and try to get Shionzu back on board. Incoming. It sends out the Dubu. We have the drone to save this game, though. Nice. Oh my god. Really good angle there from Alex, but a nice defense as well from Shionzu as they're going to try to break some of these barriers, although Maloom is really just holding right now with the extra defense. Speed coming out from Mako. Can't get through just yet. Fiery, big teleport, giant teleport. Getting with that super surge. Gets the strike, gets the piercing shot on through Barcode, and now it's really just... This is another match point, bro.
Yeah, and we have Joker who's down in Awakening. AverageAlex fully stacked up on the pancakes there. Unable to connect. Joker doesn't find the kill onto AverageAlex. Would have been absolutely massive to get rid of those pancakes there and then just have a power play for yourselves. AverageAlex gets healed up a little bit from the orb. Tofu Fortress comes through, and Maloom still just holding down the secondary to give their team speed as much as possible. Fiery looking for a play here. Is going to try to get it. The Crystal Thorns aren't able to connect, but it doesn't matter because it forced out Barcode's flip there, and they still have energy advantage in the situation. No elusive for Shionzu for a couple seconds. Unable to find it once again. Joker just probably looking for these kills, but slightly off. This might be what they need. Showtime is looking for the potential shot here. Let's see if AverageAlex can get another 14 points or 14 KOs this set alone to help swing the momentum over. It's just looking for... You can see him hunting. This guy has got blood in his eyes, looking for a potential shot to Oko someone here. And it's just biding his time until he finds that opportunity, but unable to find it yet. I mean, it can go any way at this point, NB.
It really can. Shionzu probably still has secondary up from that kill. That was really just primary flip there. Joker trying to help get it on through here. A flip from AverageAlex sends it out immediately, though. Not really trying to waste all that much time. Fiery is now back with full cooldowns, flying on in there, really barreling on in there with that somersault. Not the angle that Joker was looking for there. Couldn't maintain possession of that ball standing on that drone. For sure to clear it on out. Joker, okay, sends out the flurry, but doesn't find a kill on AverageAlex just yet. Has their own flip, but is probably going to wait for a really Powerful situation. They have to get a little bit closer to this goal. Does end up flipping there. Had the drama as an outlet as well to mix it up. Oh, just a teleport. Insane lifeline there from Shionzu to give the ball right to Joker on the front side. And that was necessary. I feel like things were dwindling just a little bit there, but Shionzu with a really great teleport. It's going to be Barcode, the man who can hold it down through the power plays. It's going to take their first awakening here.
I mean, that set is Barcode MVP right there. That guy held it down for, I think, no exaggeration, like over a minute of his teammates being dead. And then they managed to win that 1 point, which if they lost that particular point, the set was over and the game was over already. But held it down long enough, extra special going over, which should help a little bit if he can nail the timings on some of these saves, or at least just get the health back up. Because you mentioned how like Shionzu got taken out from like half health once from just one slam. So if we can keep everyone alive just a little bit longer or more healthy, then you can prevent some of those situations of just being like insta KO'd. Oh my goodness, almost got the Quangled there, but instead of that, gets a double barrier for their trouble, sets up the Tofu Fortress, but Castellas plus Manu, or Castellas plus Timeless is going to keep that Expanse live for so. Oh my, I mean, there's been so many close calls for these KOs, but nothing has happened just yet. But they do still have the double barrier advantage, though might end up leading to a point of their own.
This game is actually so funny with like giant scary ass Dubu forward. Like, you have to just like split. You have to get out of the way. You simply have to get out of the way. But if you do, then everyone is like instantly go kill Dubu. And that's kind of what they were doing for a second. In fact, they have him completely staggered right now and got a kill onto Fiery. They have such a good situation here with this power play. Sends AverageAlex actually into the goal to play goalie with Maloom. Not the greatest angle there. Shionzu can't find what they're looking for. A somersault is up. Shionzu looking weak. AverageAlex trying to hit the ball and Shionzu at the same time. Could have possibly held possession there. Has a strike to keep themselves up. Fiery might have a piercing shot. Does, but the Expanse is going to be enough to keep it up. AverageAlex winning situation against the drone. Now it's up to Fiery, who could have made a really ridiculous pass there if AverageAlex was ready for such a situation, but point will continue here with Joker almost maintaining it. Here comes the flurry. Maloom does save it. It's really tight. Overtime making the ball a little bit fast. Shionzu gets it on through. Alex has flipped. Going to send it away from Alex over to Fiery, who's basically about to die here. And now this is our last chance. Fiery actually just out of cooldowns now. It's going to be... Now it's really just Showtime's chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going back and forth, but we can see the difference that like the Manu now has been making, and the damage comes. Oh my goodness, the slam from Dubu just does so much. But AverageAlex still alive, almost has the full pancakes left up, but most likely has to burn this flip if gets anywhere too close to the edge. You can see the way he's playing. He's trying not to get too close to the middle drums because that will also KO him. Oh my goodness, the movement from Alex is keeping him alive. This guy is still going. And he goes for the slam, and eventually Maloom gets the snipe onto the top. The perfect pitch comes through and scores the first point of this set.
Dang, that was, man, I feel like that really was their only chance to score, as Maloom gets like a really nice, perfect pitch on there, while it was there's just so much happening with these four forwards are just smashing each other into pieces. I mean, literally can't even finish the sentence, into pieces, as everyone finds himself just blowing up. Shionzu constantly having to spend that lifeline, keeping Joker alive, because they're just really just trying to knock this Juliet all over the place. One barrier down for Barcode. Fiery tries to get a Quangle once more. It's just a tough situation. You don't land those kills. I'm not sure if Barcode has their ult up just yet. Tofu Fortress isn't really doing all that many favors for them just yet. Nice strike shot to thread the needle once more. Joker jailed for a couple of seconds. Shionzu getting smashed once again. But look at that. The extra special Atlas is actually keeping the team alive. And Fiery gets sent once again into Jupiter as the power play commences here for Showtime.
Yeah, they do have the power play, but they're down both barriers. If PPL can hold just long enough for Fiery to return, they'll have this advantage here. Oh my goodness, spawns, strike shot comes through with Fiery helping out, gets the ad rush, passing it over to AverageAlex. You can see the way that the dynamic has changed right now. It is Fiery who's midfielding for AverageAlex as he tries to do Dubu things, gets the KO, but it is a res right back thanks to Barcode. But it doesn't matter as we are on the set point, match point, for this game number 2, which could lead us to a game number 3, 1-1 tie if PPL goes one more point in this set.
Yeah, it is definitely an interesting dynamic to see the change of pace there. Although AverageAlex not going to evade that situation. Maybe they didn't even have it there, but Joker finds a really great kill to make this power play happen. Punch. Oh my god, the defense here coming out. Possibly a double angle. Goes in, goes out. Doesn't actually get anything for their troubles. Maloom Okay, dropping that strike, going to lose the first barrier, but going to hold the second one as much as they can. AverageAlex flying on in there with that drum and bass. Shionzu here to help. Joker and Fiery are just dancing at the bottom lane here, as AverageAlex is going to try to hold this ball, keep it away from Maloom, relieve any of that pressure. Atlas ult is actually just up at all times, really just healing the team as much as they can. More kills coming out, so much damage. Fiery is the one to take the brunt of it, and finally a power play shows up for Showtime. Can they get the ball through AverageAlex and Maloom?
So this is a really big deal, right? They previously got the KO onto AverageAlex, reset the pancakes, and now Joker getting another KO onto Fiery this time. And now if you take a look from the previous sets, oh my goodness, another KO comes through, but this time from the drone. And now the biggest difference is we have AverageAlex with no awakening right now, and Joker with 3 prize fighters. Previously, he was just stuck on 0 because he wasn't able to get that first KO and then end up getting KO'd himself multiple times over. But now that this is Juliet, can have so much more KO pressure, plus the fact that he can play a little bit more dangerously thanks to Barcode having the extra special to keep the res up, to keep the HP up. This probably is the swing that Showtime needed to get things in their favor.
Indeed, it might actually. I mean, even specialized training too. Like, this Juliet is a force to be reckoned with. That's so much damage onto the Dubu here, who actually has a little bit of extra stagger. Flying on in there, trying to knock Shionzu out of the game. Gets the first barrier, flips for the second one, can't seem to get it. A couple of extra goalies going to make that one a little bit harder. Fiery trying to help Maloom on the top side keep the ball away. Finds himself staggered. Here comes the somersault from AverageAlex, trying to get the ball through Shionzu, but literally does not have enough strikes to make it on through. Fiery staying into the game, although now they find themselves in the grave, as it's just going to be Joker and Shionzu getting this one here through. No overtime just yet. Barcode might be able to move up onto the bottom lane here. They're really just going to leave it to Shionzu and Joker for now, and they do actually get it. AverageAlex had to balance, like, standing too close to the goal and using that corner to keep himself alive, and it ends up leaving just a little bit of room in the middle. Joker gets it on through perfectly, and all right, match point here for PPL still. Showtime fighting back.
Yeah, and already starting off with a KO. I feel like Barcode is just looking for anything that moves towards the edge and then slams the ultimate. Oh my goodness, gets the save thanks to the extra duration from Timeless in both Castellast. Otherwise, Shionzu would have taken a dip into the afterlife for 14 seconds. But now we have a double barrier already gone. Joker almost gets taken out, but no, I think he got saved by the drum on the bottom here. And now it's just a little bit of a power play. Not power play, but the advantage from having the barriers up. As, oh my goodness, tries to go for the dash into flip tech. Slightly misses, but it doesn't matter. Tying things up for the sets. Showtime crawling their way back and trying to make sure things do not go to a game 3.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like AverageAlex might have lost control here. We saw him just being a menace, killing everyone, knocking them all around, scoring those goals. But Showtime is really fighting back now, especially with the Joker kind of being super powered here. Can find themselves a couple more kills. Now it's going to be here for Juliet. I feel like she's the kind of MVP to watch out for, because these power plays are so important. Recovery drone, keeping himself alive, gives himself a little bit more range too, which could be nice. Team player from AverageAlex. There are going to be some passing plays in this next set, but I mean, everyone is getting something really strong here, though. Atlas loving the hot shot, nothing more than just that. No extra sparks for Fiery. I mean, still pretty powerful of this draft, and we'll see if this team player becomes like one of these win conditions.
Yeah, the unfortunate situation here is that the way the ball movement tends to work on Tao Temple is you tend not to pass too much forward to your brawler, because you have to get it around these tight corners, which means using the sides of the map as much as possible and getting like the ball through at an indirect way. And already a KO comes through. That is one prize fighter onto Joker, trying to get a second one, and he has that recovery drone, which means that you can't just freely KO him, or it also disincentivizes you going for him in general. Another KO comes through, the second one. The pancakes are gone to the third one. I mean,
oh my.
I was going to say before the set started that the win condition for PPL is to make sure that they just don't let any kills come through from Joker, because once you have the prize fighter, unfortunately, I think it's over.
Yep, saved there from the recovery drone. Is going to keep up another stack of those prize fighter, or another stack of prize fighter up here. Fiery Trying to maintain possession of the ball for just a moment, but can't seem to find their way in. No cooldowns just yet. Joker and Shionzu are going to try to inch their way forward. Gets the dash punch, but it doesn't seem to work out. Maloom foils them just for that situation. Going to wait for dash punch again. All they have to do is really stall for Joker to get some good cooldown coming up. Shionzu keeps giving the ball to Joker. Overtime is just too difficult for the goalie here. Mako can't seem to get there in time. And now advantage to Showtime, which was kind of crazy. I mean, AverageAlex was like the kicker this whole game, and now things have kind of turned on their head. Joker already 3 stacks of Prize Fighter is now a demon again.
Yeah, I think it's just so funny how the dynamic of this game changed so much, right? From the first sets to now, finally just like scaling over, getting enough awakenings, getting these extra reses, the extra healing, the Monu on the now. And honestly, a really big thing that I want to talk about is the Stinger on the now. Is doing so much damage that it allowed for some of these stagger KOs. And then the moment Joker got one, it snowballed from there, right? We see his build. He has the heavy impact. He has the spec training. He has a size awakening. But it is Shionzu who's taken out, and things are not over yet. PPL can still fight, trying to go for the slam, trying to go for the play, but Joker catches it with the ultimate, and it manages to go through both of them at the same time.
Nice wait there from Fiery. Joker was able to cover a lot of space there with that flurry, but Flip can hold just a little bit longer with that timing. It's going to be a 1-1 here. PPL trying hard to keep themselves in the game. We see AverageAlex is doing as best as they can, rolling all over the place. Uses a couple of cooldowns there, but doesn't get too much off of it. Barcode keeping it alive with that expanse. Maloom holding this barrier by just about nothing. Dash punch coming in. Still holds the barrier. Fiery finds the kill. Incoming soup against Adrenaline Rush Estelle, which is going to be just about impossible to hold. Again comes the Fiery flurry with Joker to just stall as much time as they possibly can. Trying to get in the way. Flips. Alright, Shionzu's finally back here. What are we going to do with the ball? Sends it on over to Shionzu again. Has the drone up to win a situation against AverageAlex, but waits it out. It's pretty crazy here, though. On the bottom side here against Maloon, still holding both of these barriers. Jailed completely. AverageAlex sending the log at the wall once again. Possibly looking for a kill. Has Flip. So much kill range here for AverageAlex if they find a situation. Oh, he literally knocked
the
him
slam
too
sent
far. It's literally too strong. It's literally too strong and ends up missing a kill situation, which allows Joker to stay on this front side here, though, grabbing that barrier. Now it's all up to Fiery. Gets kind of stuffed, but at a really bad angle. Bloom gonna keep that one alive there. It's gonna hit that wall, and nothing here from AverageAlex other than just a little bit of stagger and no cooldowns, bro. This is tough. This is a tight situation here for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is using every ability they have, slightly missing or just barely connecting. And nothing is going the way that anyone wants, really. The Tofu Fortress comes out. AverageAlex actually stuck on his own fortress there, had no elusives, so couldn't walk out of it. And then misses the flip and ends up getting punished for it. The KO, pancakes reset, and that is a shot going into advantage for Showtime.
That was such a talk to the hand moment where AverageAlex just tries to fly into Shionzu, misses, and Shionzu actually just smacks him in the back of the head with the drone, instantly killing AverageAlex. Of course, you were going to be at the edge of the wall. Maloom, drum and bass up, holding as much as they can, giving it even size too, right? Speed is incredible, but still also drum and bass gives size too, so they can hold on to these lanes as long as they possibly can. AverageAlex backs up all the way into the goal. Joker flipping 1 pixel away from that barrier is certainly guaranteed to get that one. A flip from Shionzu is going to destroy Fiery. Big power play here. Maloom could stall for a little longer than they want, as they does have Flip still gonna send the ball on into this soup, so AverageAlex can't get a good strike on it, which is totally fair. And now the Sharks have been set. Joker sending all the damage they have onto AverageAlex, but nicely walks into the corner to avoid most of it. A flip from Loom finally comes out here, though. The Joker now taking a lot of that damage, but healed up from Shionzu. Barcode keeping both of these barriers alive. Still, AverageAlex never not in threat of dying, just being this giant Dubu, and Barcode could possibly move up here and make a big play on this final barrier. Will it happen? Overtime sends over, and they do not end up getting that barrier. In fact, losing one of their own, and Expanse simply is doing the opposite of expanding.
But still manages to get the last one. Barrier falls, Flip comes through. Is a dash punch gonna be enough here? But no, the Tofu Fortress holds down long enough, and there it is. Ooh. Manages to get the shot right back from the pass from Shionzu, and then gets it through Maloom. I mean, that was an insane comeback. We were at like set 3.3 for PPL to have a clean 3-0 sweep, and it was just clawing it back point at point. I mean, I'm going to say right now, MVP Barcode for that 1 point where he held it down, where his teammates were in the graveyard gray screen for half the game, essentially. And he just had to hold it down forever. At that one point, felt like it changed the momentum of the entire game there. But we can see the KOs coming through. That was 7 KOs for AverageAlex, 5 for Fiery. But unfortunately, they weren't coming through enough at the end, right? So much of that was consolidated in the earlier sets, the ones that they were winning. But then once we had Barcode with the extra special, and then also just they were playing better in general, right? Showtime was falling less and less to the traps of PPL, and eventually ended up leading to Joker getting a KO, getting the prize fighter stacks, and now having enough damage paired with the spec training, paired with the heavy impact to just follow through. And then of course Manu now. I mean, Shionzu did Shionzu things like 400 redirects there. Like what more can you say?
Yeah, Shionzu was absolutely active. Yeah, the Monumentalist helps an incredible amount, especially on Tao Temple, really giving him access to just about the entire lane and more. I mean, you could see 11-0 from Joker. That was the strategy, right? We get those really good dash punch setups. We get the ball as close to our Juliet as possible. Barcode keeps them up. I mean, look at that. Oh, such a nice replay there from Joker. Just like really tight timing redirect. Things like that are what scores against NASL teams. You have to just be thinking outside the box. You got to be quick. You got to be ready to go. And honestly, from the start, PPL was quick. They picked something a little crazy, right? Like Super Dubu really was kind of hard for Showtime to deal with from the start. We saw so many kills and so much damage coming out, but you know, as some of these awakenings had been laid out and the strategy was dissected, Showtime really put that one together. Shionzu, you know, like you mentioned before, took that stinger, did a lot of extra damage. Joker just went all massive damage there. Specialized training with those stacks of prize fighter really did the damage to AverageAlex, who, I mean, I'm pretty sure Dubu has the highest health pool in the game, but it didn't look like all that much from that game. And wow, really amazing comeback from Showtime, and I am happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, what a phenomenal series. Again, like both of these games are so close. First the Inky's game, and then onto here with the Tao Temple. Phenomenal series. I mean, PPL. What I will say, I did mention beforehand that I think Showtime is still one of, if not the best team in the current iteration of the league. Even though they got nerfed from just the patch in general for how well their playstyle worked. Regardless, I want to give big props to PPL because they played phenomenally here for their entrance back into NASL for a long time before, and with Malum being here for his first time.
Yeah, really incredible gameplay, and they show that they have what it takes to keep themselves afloat, and we'll be seeing more of them. Absolutely. Many more weeks of NASL coming up to show you guys what these players are capable of. And now we will switch up our casters just a little bit here, switch up our players as well. When we return, you will be seeing another mega banger of Bozo Bunch versus EKC. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be wild.
Yep. Thanks for having us here. We'll see you guys soon.